This is Christy Berry again. I wanted to talk to you today about 5 different steps that you can take just to get to good health, things that you can do on your own. And so we're going to jump right in. We're going to do a little overview. First, the best thing to start with is avoiding and removing the toxins. Uh, we'll talk a little bit more about each of these, but the second step is to stay hydrated. The third is to improve your gut. The fourth step is to reduce your stress, and the fifth step is to move. So let's talk just a bit about those toxins. So toxins are found in the air, in our food, in our water, our personal care and beauty products, our home, and they actually are created in our body as a result of poor health, as well as just everyday living. Toxic chemicals can enter the body through all of those things, including things like cleaning supplies and chemicals that we breathe every day out in the road, or any number of ways. You can see here pesticides, aluminum parabens, flame retardants, insecticides, drinks, car exhaust, cigarette smoke, mercury, lead, diesel, fluoride, lots of different poisons that we take into our body, mold that we can take into our body that are toxic to us. And if we keep being bombarded with these toxins, the body goes into what's called an allostatic load. So these chemicals can do harm in many different ways. They can attack and damage our cells. They can attack and damage the tissue, all the tissues in the body, including muscular tissues and other tissue. They can attack our genetics, okay, and mess up the nucleus of our cell and the genetic material in our cell, like our mitochondria. And they can damage our DNA, which is really, really a crucial piece because this is what goes to our next generation. And if we are toxic before we're pregnant, we can have really horrible side effects from those toxins in the bodies of our little babies, and we don't want to do that. So let's talk a little bit more about toxin. So detoxing your body is not a diet. It's not a fad. It's not a, hey, drink this and for 5 days. That's not how it works. Fat is created to protect the body from toxins and impurities created, and it creates unwanted weight. So if we have too many toxins in our bodies, we actually will create an overweight situation. Many times people who have cut back on calories or exercising, they actually have toxins that the body's hanging on to, trying to keep you safe from those toxins. Well, our body protects us that way. It stores the toxins in the fat, and detoxing is something that's absolutely necessary. And it's not just necessary one and done. This is something we should do regularly. And also, we have some instruction on how to help detox the organs in your body. And so when you go through these classes, you can look through and you'll find a video on how to detox the body using the auricular therapy. So I'm really going to highly recommend that, because you can do that at home and you can do it every week or once every month, just making sure that you're maintaining the detoxification as you need it so that you can become healthy. You can see here on our PowerPoint slide that there's a lot of stuff that goes on. We have a toxic overload a lot of time, and it creates the need to create more fat cells. So we made more fat cells to hang on to more toxins, and you can see this can become a very vicious cycle. The second step is to stay hydrated. One of the good things about hydration is that it helps our cells be healthy. It helps to move toxins out of the body. So being hydrated is really important. If you find that you have headaches a lot, many times just rehydrating your body can help. Unfortunately, if your adrenals are fatigued, hydration is very difficult. And we'll talk a little bit more about adrenals in a minute. What happens when your body is dehydrated? Let's look at a couple of things. It affects our brain. What happens is when we don't have enough fluid, our blood vessels begin to shrink. The lower fluid levels create symptoms. Symptoms like headaches, low serotonin levels, irritability, anxiety, confusion, memory loss, and dizziness. Low hydration affects our heart. Less fluid in our blood makes our blood thick. When our blood is thick, it makes the heart have to work harder, and then we have symptoms: increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, poor circulation. Poor hydration affects our kidneys. Our kidneys work to keep water in our system and to keep a balance. Unfortunately, if you're dehydrated, your kidneys will not function well, and it'll try to hang on to more water. It'll slow your urination, it'll cause swelling, your kidneys could become infected, you'll have less energy, and you'll not be able to manage well to stressors. So your body stress will increase. So if you're dehydrated, your cells will have a problem. It creates poor circulation, which in turn creates poor nutrition. And finally, symptoms like dry skin, feeling cold, cold hands and feet, thirsty, tired, increased temperature, and overheating. Sometimes it feels like hot flashes. Additionally, if you're dehydrated, your gut becomes a problem. You have poor nutrition. You're not bringing in nutrition well because you don't have enough fluids. You have poor elimination. So you might have all kinds of elimination issues, and then you'll have symptoms like dry mouth, bad breath, hunger, cravings, constipation, and weight gain. A daily intake of water of 50% of your body weight in ounces is what you should get as a healthy person. If you're not healthy, you probably need to increase that. If you exercise regularly, you're overweight, you have kidney issues or diabetes, or are highly stressed, this amount, that 50% of your body weight in ounces, will be different for you. Step number 3 is improve your gut. So we can see here a picture of our gut. We have the yellow plexus that comes through, submucosal plexus. This is your part of your vagus nerve and your enteric nervous system. Some of my other videos talk about the enteric nervous system, and that's the gut brain. There's arteries, there's veins, there's glands, there's lymph nodes. There's a lot going on in our gut, in our small and large intestines. And you can see here, if we are not healthy, it makes the rest of our body not healthy. Another issue in our gut, especially if we're craving sugars or sweets, or maybe just, like breads and things with a lot of quick absorbable grains, you might have a candida overgrowth. A lot of people have this, and this will have to be your first step in getting your gut healthy. Candida has both fine and fibrous stages in its growth. So depending on, and you can see there in the picture how it's got the little smooth section and then it's got a fibrous section. And it's hard to get rid of sometimes when it's growing in the gut, and even more so when it gets into the bloodstream and in your brain. So we need to rebuild the mucosal lining. You do this with fermented foods, raw vegetables, whole foods, whole grains, whole seeds for both probiotics and prebiotics. Having a good healthy gut, it needs you to have a good healthy diet. No processed foods or sugar and junk. You have to look at lifestyle, lower your stress, move a little bit, and then also avoid things that create an imbalance in the gut, such as antibiotics, steroids, sugar, and parasites. Parasite foods can include pork, shellfish, and raw fish. And really consider food as your medicine. A lot of us are taking supplements, and honest to goodness, those supplements will just sit in your liver just like any other medication because it's not food. The body doesn't recognize a supplement, it recognizes food. So, making sure that you're getting good, healthy, nutrient dense foods. Whole foods, low glycemic foods, they don't convert quickly to sugar. 50% of your meal of every meal should be vegetables or fruit of some kind, preferably vegetables. Dense nutrition, healthy snacks, nuts, yogurt, and please, please, please don't skip breakfast. Breakfast is so important. We actually do a hair analysis for some of our clients, and if this is something you're interested in, you can reach out. We'll drop ship it to you, and then you can send it back to us, and we'll send it to the company, and we can do a hair analysis, and it identifies things like toxic elements, as well as if there's an imbalance in the healthy nutritional elements that you have in your body. You can see here this person has high levels of calcium and magnesium, high levels of iron and high levels of cobalt. This person also has some mercury and has too much aluminum in the body, which can eventually lead to things like Alzheimer's. The fourth step is to reduce our stress. And you can see this lady, she is on the treadmill, man. She is on it. She's going in circles. When we have stress, it isn't necessarily just, oh, I'm mentally stressed. Too many toxins and allostatic load creates a stress on the body. Emotions, of course, can create stress on the body. We can be mentally stressed. We can be physically stressed. For those of you that are doing like tons of exercise to try to lose weight or try to get in shape, if you don't pay attention to your daily stress level, your exercise could actually be adding more stress to you. I had a client one time, she kept saying, no, 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 I'm not, I've got to do this extra exercise. And when I kept telling her, you need to slow down on the exercise. And finally she did, um, because she had to. And she was like, oh my gosh, I've lost weight just because I've cut back on some of my exercise. What she was doing was throwing her body into a stress response. That keeps everything slowed down. And then, of course, we always know that poor food choices or malabsorption, if your gut is not healthy and your body is not absorbing uh, enough nutrition, you have a physical problem that creates more stress on your body because your body is trying to survive. So, any stress adds to adrenal insufficiency. Doctors do not treat things that affect your adrenals unless it becomes a disease. The adrenal disease that can be identified is called Addison's disease, and that's when your adrenals have completely stopped functioning. But we can do things to help our adrenals early so that they can not become totally ineffective. Most of the time, the clients that I see have insufficient adrenal responses. And so being able to say, okay, we are insufficient in our adrenal, some people call it adrenal fatigue, we can go ahead and make some changes to really help with that. Adrenals help to maintain our metabolism. They manage inflammation. They manage our blood sugar levels. They regulate our salt and water balance and our micronutrient balance. They control fight and flight response. They maintain pregnancy. If you get pregnant and you can't keep pregnancy, like if you keep miscarrying, more often than not, it's an adrenal issue. They signal the start of puberty in our littles, and our young ladies, and our young men. So there's a lot that adrenals do. They provide so many benefits. They help all of the other glands produce hormones. They work together with other hormones to make things work best for your body. If you find that your adrenals are stressed, a really important piece is to know that eventually the thyroid, who has jumped in to try to keep you on your feet, is going to finally also get stressed out. And that's what happens to a lot of people, especially as they get older. In their 40s and 50s, they'll find that their thyroid is now totally stressed out as well. So, when you have adrenal insufficiency, you might have any one or a multitude of these symptoms: fatigue, muscle weakness, low appetite, nausea, diarrhea, low blood pressure. You could also have high blood pressure. You could have dehydration because the adrenals produce a hormone that causes the body to hold on to the fluid. And if they're tired, they don't. You might have salt cravings, hormone imbalance, depression, irritability, hypoglycemia, headaches, sweating, irregular cycles, lower back pain, and then finally, when not taken care of, Addison's disease, which we just talked about. So, our fourth step in getting healthy is to move. Exercise is really important. And in one of my other workshops, I talk about how to identify the type of exercise that you need in order to stay healthy. It's really important to know that this all works together for your good health. Lowering our toxins, getting our gut healthy, staying hydrated, all of these things, moving, lowering our stress, all of these things are really, really important and are important for you to even start your journey. You have to make that decision to say, I'm going to do what I need to do in order to stay healthy. And there are multiple things that you can do right now that have nothing to do with going in and talking to somebody and paying lots of money. You can do this right now, and you will begin to notice an improvement. What are you going to do to improve your health? Are you going to find ways to avoid and remove toxins, stay hydrated, improve your gut, reduce your stress, and move? Are you going to do it? I challenge you to do this. Simple 5 things that you can do today to get healthy. Now, if you are struggling or you have more concerning health issues, you can reach out to us at ALHH Academy and sign up for our free community or our basics community. You can call our office or send us an email. As you can see, we are located in Huntsville, Alabama, but we work with people all over the country. So please reach out and let us know what you need, and we will help you with some customized care if you would like.